Auburn has South Alabama coming in. Now, South Alabama is not UAB. South Alabama is actually a fairly interesting team. Major Applewhite, who, by the way, went 15 and 11 his 3 years at Houston. Now, mind you, his first year was actually just one game at the Las Vegas Bowl. And he lost it, unfortunately. But he went 7-5 his second year, went 8-5, won the division title, and looked like he was in the American Athletic Conference, that he could be moving towards even more. Now he's at South Alabama, went 7-6 his first year. He's 1-1 this year. He lost to Tulane. Tulane's a no joke team. Before he was the head coach, he was offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. He was an analyst at Alabama. In other words, hey, he's actually got spent some time under Saban. Before he became the Houston head coach, he was offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach there. He was co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks and running backs coach and assistant head coach at Texas. He was offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Alabama at one point. Yeah, this is a guy that's got some experience under his belt. South Alabama was a no-joke team last year. Yeah, they went 7-6, but they were scary. Hugh Freeze. 34-15 at Liberty, 12-25 at Ole Miss, but that's because 27 wins were vacated by the NCAA. He went far better than that. Had a 10-3 season, had a 9-4 season, 8-5 season. His last season there was 5-7. He went second in the Western with an Alabama team led by Nick Saban, and he beat Nick Saban. Arkansas State, he went 10-2. He went 20-5 at the Lambeth Eagles, which is in Jackson, Tennessee, and is a NAIA school. I'm not even sure what division that is. But he's got a winning record. He's 89-61 overall. 6-7 his first year at Auburn, 5-7 last year, but the game may have passed him by. Now, that being said, South Alabama beat Morgan State 38-21, lost to Tulane 33-31. That's not saying they're a bad team. Tulane is a really good team. So far, this has been 42-3 against Ball State. Baylor, they beat 38-24. So Auburn is not a bad team. Actually, they're a pretty good team. This is going to be a game, though, that you can't sleep on South Alabama. South Alabama last year would have some amazing games. Then they'd have some bad games. Then they'd have some amazing games. It was Major Applewhite couldn't keep that team going in one direction, but he's got another year under his belt here. He's working to get them going right, and he's got a fairly interesting team. He really does. So we're going to take a look at this. So hit like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Doesn't hurt you. So let's get into this game. Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video, and I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Neyland. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there. We're going to start with the South Alabama Jaguars. Their QB1 is Bishop Davenport. He's 29-38, 76.3 completion rate. He's got 4 touchdowns through the air, no interceptions, and he's been sacked twice. Now, the QB2, 1 of 1, no touchdowns, their leading rusher is Kentrell Bullock, running back, 234 yards so far this year. 47 carries, 234 yards. They've got 405 yards through the air, 400 or 383 on the ground. This balanced team. Oh, and by the way, Bullock's got 3 touchdowns. PJ Martin, 11 for 58, 1 touchdown. Bishop Davenport's got 15 carries, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. So this is a pretty scary team. Devin Boysen, 15 carries, 221 yards, or 15 receptions, 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, long as 65. So they can do explosive plays. Anthony Edgar, 4 catches, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Miller McCrumbry's got 5 catches, 61 yards. So that, yeah, on offense, they're explosive. You don't want to let them. Kentrell Bullock's got a long run of 20 yards. Bishop Davenport's 14. Keenan Phillips, another running back, who's got 7 carries, 32 yards, long of 12. On defense, Darius McKenzie, who's got 16 tackles. Now, they've got 4 sacks on the year. They've got 9 pass deflections, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 fumble recoveries. Uh, their leading pass deflector has got their safety Ty Goodwell, 13 tackles and 5 of those pass deflections. Wesley Miller, another safety, has got an interception and a pass deflection, 12 tackles. So, are you hearing that? They ain't playing games. They are okay. They aren't playing games. They are working hard in this. 149 tackles on the year. This is a defense that is working. This is an offense that has multiple threats. If you if you don't know what Bishop Davenport's going to do, because it could be going to Kentrell Bullock, it could be going to Devin Boyson, it could be going anywhere. Very scary team on both sides of the ball. Major Applewhite's got his team in place. Now, do I think that this is going to be this is a Sunbelt team. This is not they've got a schedule where after they get done with Auburn, they've got to play Coastal Carolina, North Texas, which Troy, which is in state, could be scary. Arkansas State, which I hope they beat the pants off of. Georgia State, which, Louisiana, which actually needs to get themselves back. Texas State, which is a good team. So they're preparing for that. So this Auburn game, they're willing to be up for it because they know they've got big G5 games coming up. They had a big G5 game that they barely lost to. They're going to be mad. They're going to be coming into this that way. So that's the South Alabama Jaguars. Now, the Hugh Freeze-led Auburn Tigers. Jackson Arnold, everybody's talking about him. 35, 55, 77.8 completion rate, 3 touchdowns, been sacked 5 times though. Uh, that was most likely the Baylor game where they went 38-24. And Jeremiah Cobb has got 27 rushes, 195 yards. So 379 yards through the air, with 20 being contributed by Deuce Knight, QB2. So Jeremiah Cobb has got 195 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Jackson Arnold, 25 rushes, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. Demary Alston, 16 carries, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. Darrell Robinson, 3 carries, 57 yards, 1 touchdown. This is looking like an old school Auburn team. Receiving, Cam Coleman, 8 for 100 yards. No touchdowns though. Long of 23. Eric Singleton Jr., 7 receptions, 84 yards. Long of 30, 2 touchdowns. Horatio Fields, 8 for 68, 1 touchdown. Yeah, only 3 touchdowns by air. So you're hearing that and you're going, interesting, interesting, interesting. So it's kind of a one-dimensional team with, yeah, if you can, they don't seem to be getting as many touchdowns that way. And they've got Brandon Fraser, 215. Um, Now they do have 10 sacks. They are able to get to the quarterback. They've knocked 53 yards off the opposing team's defense or offense. They've got three pass deflections, no interceptions, one forced fumble, one fumble recovery. This is an interesting. I mean, their defense is a little bit more spread out, but less tackles each. Though Kieran Crawford, 11 tackles, but three of those were sacks, knocked the other team back 20 yards. Oh, and he's forced a fumble. Malik Lockton, three tackles, but he's got a fumble recovery. He's defensive lineman. Xavier Atkins, 10 tackles, two sacks, 9 yards. Keeper Fault, five tackles, one of them sacked, 6 yards. Yep, you're hearing this right. This is a team that knows how to get to the quarterback. That could be a problem unless, you know, you're dealing with a mobile quarterback that's got a lot of options, like Bishop Davenport. So Jackson Arnold, Jeremiah Cobb, Cam Coleman, Stephen Crawford. This is a pretty interesting team to look at. Um, they may not have as many. They've got 93 sacks overall. You're taking a look at South Alabama, who's got 149 tackles overall. Defense isn't producing like you would expect, but then again, no. Ball State 42-3. What do you need to produce? Baylor though, they showed up, did a really good job. They got 531 yards rushing. They're kind of out, but they're not getting the scores like you would expect. Seven touchdowns rushing. That's a good thing. Two games in, seven rushing touchdowns, three through the air though. So they really do seem like, yes, they got a pretty good balance, except for the fact of that their wide receivers aren't getting into the end zone like they should. That could be a problem. Look, Auburn should win this game. Should. Notice I said that. Um, but they have to look forward to the very next Saturday. They got to go. They've got to go to Oklahoma. Then they're going to Texas A&M. Then they've got Georgia. Then they've got Mizzou. Then they're going to Arkansas. Okay, then they got Kentucky. I don't think they'll have problems with Kentucky. Then they're at Vandy. And last year, that was just not pretty. And Diego Garcia loves beating Alabama schools. Then they got Mercer. And then you got the Iron Bowl. They've got a tough schedule in front of them. South Alabama should be a warm-up game for them. Should be. I keep saying that. Should be. This is not a South Alabama team that you can sleep on in any way, shape, or form. Now, South Alabama is not South Florida. South Alabama is still getting themselves in the correct footing. South Alabama also plays erratically because when they played against Tulane, they got two touchdowns quickly. Then they didn't do anything for a while. Then they got two more touchdowns, and they were able to get in whatever. But this is they do play erratically, but that could also be scary for a team that's used to playing teams that are constantly going at you, and you know what to expect. South Alabama, you don't know what to expect. Major Applewhite, I'm sure the Major Applewhite would love to get them to play consistent football. But saying that, Auburn's got to prepare for anything. That literally is the problem with South Alabama. You're going to have a defense that hasn't, other than sacks, hasn't been really able to do much else. Oh, wait, you've got a mobile quarterback with a good receiving core with a good running room that you're going up against. This is preparing them for what they're going to be facing in the SEC. This is going to tell a whole lot more than what that Baylor game did. I will guarantee you that. This will be far more of what they'll be facing in the SEC than what they did against Baylor. And I'm not downplaying Baylor. Baylor is a good win. But South Alabama is going to be a lot different. They're an SEC like team that has got a coach that wants to get that team relevant. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.